McBride now, who's been following the developments in Israel from the Jordanian capital, Amman. Rob, it's been another day of attacks across Israel in the north, as we've been seeing for a while, and from Iran, but now also to the south from the Houthis in Yemen. What can you tell us about those?
Yeah, these missile threats and alerts have continued through Saturday and now into the early hours of Sunday morning here. The latest threat came several hours ago. In early hours of Sunday morning, the military authorities in Israel detected a missile launch from Iran. They estimated that it was aimed at the south of the country, so alarms were raised all throughout the south of Israel. It eventually came in and landed, the authorities say, in open ground, and the alert was lifted. Earlier on Saturday, we did have a ballistic missile that got through Israel's air defenses. It landed in the town of Beit Shemesh. This is a town quite close to Jerusalem in the center of Israel. It caused fairly extensive damage, with 11 people being hurt. But now with Israel contending with a third front, with the Houthis announcing on Saturday that they were joining this conflict, the authorities have to keep an eye on what comes from the south, from the direction of Yemen. And indeed, on Saturday evening, about middle of the evening, the authorities said that they had detected a drone that they suspected had come from Yemen over the city of Eilat. That's the important strategic port city in the very south of Israel. They said it was intercepted and downed. But as we've seen from the past few weeks, a lot of the fighting increasingly it has been happening in the north of Israel, along the border with Lebanon, with the ongoing offensive by Israeli forces inside southern Lebanon, pushing Hezbollah further north, engaging with the Iran-backed group. And by Saturday evening, the authorities reckon that Hezbollah during that day had fired a total of 250 projectiles of different sorts, from drones to rockets to mortar shells, some of them landing inside Israel itself. We see from every few minutes we are getting alerts that one border community or another, or one frontline town or the one next to it, is suddenly on alert, and people are told to make for the shelters once more. Some of them landed in Israel, most of them, though, directed at Israeli troops operating inside Lebanon, with the Israeli military confirming 9 soldiers injured during Saturday, 2 of them seriously.
So, Rob, that's the defensive picture, if you will, from Israel. On the offensive side, Israel, of course, says it still has a number of things that it is planning to target inside Iran. Do we know what those might be?
Yeah, the Israeli military spokesperson earlier Saturday detailed what he called a list of critical assets that still remain, saying that in the next few days they will be working systematically through this list. There has been an increase in the tempo of these attacks. It seems as though they have been accelerating the process, concerned that a ceasefire might suddenly be called. So they have been working through these assets. So they are mainly targets connected with the military industries, and there has been a shift as this conflict has continued from regime and military targets such as the leaders themselves or military bases and missile sites, to much more broader infrastructure targets such as plants connected to the arms and nuclear industries, or energy infrastructure, or indeed even steelworks. So it does seem as though the suspicion is that Israel wants to see the strategically and systematically weakening of Iran, that whatever happens at the end of this conflict, whichever regime comes or stays in place in Tehran, that Iran will remain in a debilitated state.
Rob McBride reporting live for us from the Jordanian capital, Amman.